going on, YouTube? We're back again with another video, and on this one we're going to be working on the Chrysler 300. We will be installing some long tube headers on it, some eBay ones. I was quoted around $900 just to take off the old ones, put the new ones on, and that was without welding the mid pipe. So let's do that. Let's try to save some money. Another thing I kind of wanted to give you guys a progress report on was the 2.5. I kind of did drop the motor out of the hoist, so you could tell it's a little messed up right there. The valve cover, it did fall right on it, so I'm gonna have to grind all this down and have somebody weld it back on. One difference that I will mention, on this engine, on the 023, what side was it on? See, so over here there's an oil port. So with this port right here, we're able to run the turbo drain, and then this engine doesn't have it, so we're gonna have to do what we do on all other engines and go straight to the oil pan. One thing that's kind of concerning is I keep seeing oil stains on this oil pan, so I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm gonna keep working on this one in the background while you guys watch this video. And hopefully soon we could do a comparison between the 2.5 with a turbo and then the nitrous hemi 5.7. I'm trying to build the 5.7 to be a little bit quicker than a scat pack, so let's see if we could accomplish that, and let's see if we could beat it with the Ranger. And like I said, I just wanted to make my 5.7 a little bit faster than the scat pack, just because, you know, the 5.7 is, you know, it's a little bit faster than regular traffic, but it's not that fast. And, you know, with a little shot of nitrous, I feel like we could accomplish that. And to run nitrous, typically you do need long tube headers. All I got left to do is get the car tuned and put some colder spark plugs on there, but let's get to that, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so just like when we took the cats off, we're gonna have to take these bolts off right here. Let's zoom out real quick. Yeah, so we're gonna have to take these bolts out right here. We're gonna have to take the O2 sensors off up there, which I'm just gonna unplug, make it easier. Just take that whole thing out. I'm just gonna unplug it. Boom, take that off right there. We're probably gonna have to take these studs out right here. That's what I had to do last time when I removed the cats. Also, back there, I have to take that off over there, and that way we can start with the headers and all that. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna take the cats off, the cat pipes, and then go from there. Then look at the muffler scraper right there. It's crazy. Right there too. Yeah. All right, so we finally got the mid pipes off, and those were 16s, by the way. I thought it was gonna make it easier if I took out these studs, but it didn't make a difference. Next thing we gotta do is take this heat shield off. It's gonna have these 10mm bolts all around, so let's do that on both sides, and we'll be right back. Well, it's probably gonna take a while, but still. All right, so it's looking like I might have to take this cover off right there, so I can take this heat shield completely off, because it seems like it's getting stuck right there, I'd say. I hope it's that at least. So let me take that off and I'll be right back. All right, so just to get that heat shield off, I had to bend it quite a bit. Or if you don't want to bend it, you'd have to take this O2 sensor out, but it was being kind of annoying. So I'm about an hour and 15 minutes in, like an hour 15 I'd say. And I'm finally just now getting to where the bolts are. So this is gonna take some time, but I think I got it. Gotta do the same thing on this other side though, so yeah, seems like a fun one. But all right, so everything's out of the car right here. We got the mid pipes, which did get smashed pretty bad because I did lower the car in the front. Got the mid pipes, got the old headers out, heat shields, the motor mount heat shields and all that. I don't think I'm putting those back on. That was a pain in the ass. But this is really all you'll need. Well, that's all the hardware and all that stuff. But all you'll need is this right here. You'll need a 10mm wrench. If you could get one, a solid one like this, 6-phase with the ratchet side of it, like this 13 right here, you'd be better off. You also need a 13 if you could get a solid one, and one with the ratchet. If you could get the ones that switch over right here, that way they don't have this little curve, that'll be better. But you'll need the 13. You'll use that for each bolt that's like this one. Then you'll also need a 22 to take out your O2 sensors. You'll also need a ratchet, obviously, some extensions, a swivel. The swivel is going to be one of your all-stars, one of your MVPs, because you're going to need this a lot just to get into some tight angles to take all of these header bolts off, the 10mm ones. Another thing you're not going to want to miss out on having is this right here. Smaller, I don't know, like I don't know if they're 1/2 inch or 3/4, whatever they are, But you're also gonna need these longer ones. But this smaller one's gonna help out a lot because there's gonna be certain spots where this one can't reach, and then you're gonna have to use the 10 millimeter, but you won't be able to use it with this one. So you'll need this one to make a shorter distance. You'll also need a long 13, and then yeah, you should be good with just those things right here. That's all I use. But that's it. All right, here we go. Got eBay Chrome. I think I paid 140 bucks for these, so that's why I'm gonna make them work. They were trying to charge me 900 bucks to take these old headers off and put these on and then do the mid pipes, so that's why I'm kind of doing it myself. I'm probably gonna put these on. I know I have to bang them up a little bit, so I hope they fit how they're supposed to. So I'm gonna mock them up and then bang them right where they're supposed to be banged at, or dented at, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You know, these engines, they could use some back pressure, so. And plus, I paid like 140, and BBKs are like fucking 800, so I'm not doing that. So old ones are out. I'm gonna mock these up, see how they look, and then we'll go from there. So this side was touching over here, so I went and smashed it up a little bit. It shouldn't do nothing, so I'm just gonna send it. Who cares? Another thing you gotta look into is see how thick these manifolds are. You're gonna have to get some smaller bolts because the other ones are so thin. I hope these work on the other manifold. I had to get some bolts from Ace Hardware. But I don't think the other manifolds came with any hardware. That's one thing you gotta take into consideration. Just the thickness right here. This probably isn't gonna be like a good recording, but this is like the, I forgot how I got my arm up there, huh? This is like what I'm having to, oh shit. This is what I'm having to deal with. Where was it at? So you see that up there? Like I'm having to find the weirdest angles, and I have a wrench in there. See it turning? Like you have to find the weirdest angles when you work with these headers. If I knew all the angles I had to take, look where my arm is. My arm is all the way up in there, goes around just to get to that bolt, and that's the only way I could get to it. Through, you could kind of, where was it at? Oh yeah, you could kind of see it right there. It's just, that's just the most complicated part, and it took me like maybe 35 minutes just to figure out that I could do it this way. I was trying to do it from behind over here. And it wouldn't work, and then this is just what I found the best for this top bolt, the second one from left to right on the, it's the second bolt from left to right on the top, on the driver's side. And this is just the best thing I found. I was stuck on this bolt for a little bit, but if you put your hand around on top of the air compressor and then wrap around on top of the header, you can get it in that way. After that, I just got one more bolt and I should be done. But like I said, just finding the angle on these bolts to put them on is the worst part about it. Other than that, they went in pretty smooth. The driver's side, like I was mentioning, I didn't have to modify it at all. On the passenger side, like I showed you guys, I had to smash it up quite a bit. Finally focus. I had to smash it up quite a bit, and then I was able to put that on. But now that it's in like this, I could actually use the swivel and all that stuff. I just couldn't have it fit. So let me show you guys. So now that it's pushed in like that, I could come with the swivel and the extensions and finish tightening it. But just getting the bolt started was freaking complicated. But let me get done with that, the next one, and then I gotta do 2 more bolts on the other side and I'm done finally. Alright, so here go the factory mid pipes. I'm gonna cut where the cats used to be. One thing that I did notice on the eBay headers, it doesn't have a port for the other O2 sensor, but who cares? If it doesn't have it, it doesn't need it. So I'm gonna cut those off, boom, boom, and then I gotta take it to get welded. All right, guys, so take a look at this. These are the headers right here. Kind of banged up because I did too much, like I said, but it's not squish flat, so it'll be all right. So I got the stock headers to the collector right here, and this is the factory flange that was on the other side of the, this flange was on the other side of the catalytic converter, so I put that on there and it fits right up against the headers. So all I have to do is get a reducer now from, I'm pretty sure this is 3" to 2.5, and then weld it all around and I'll be good. So I'm about to do the same thing on the other side, go get the reducers and I'll be done. So let me do that and I'll be right back. But yeah, and it sits up even higher than before, so it should be even better, because it was scraping right here before, if you guys remember. But that's how it's looking so far. Looks like I don't even need a muffler shop, huh? Alright, so I guess the other thing you'll need to kind of make this work, and this ain't the best, but I'm not planning on getting an exhaust in this car anyway, so I'm just put this on there. It's just a cheap cat bag. What is this? A 2.5 diameter to 3" outer diameter. I kind of wanted something that'll fit on the outside, but this fits right on the inside. I'll show you guys right now when I take these stickers off. All right, so this is what I have so far. I got some tacks in there. Not the best, but I'm not a welder, but I'm sure gonna try. So I did make it a little bit higher this time, so it shouldn't be hitting too hard at the bottom. Kind of scared about the headers though, but we'll see what happens. All right, so I know it ain't the best. I'm not no type of welder, but I grinded it down and it's gonna work. So let me spray paint this, and then I'll be right back. All right, so over here we're gonna do the same exact thing. Kind of hard to record down here because the car's so low, but we're gonna do the exact same thing. We got the spacer right there. We grinded it down a little bit, connected at the back, 2 bolts on. So we're gonna tack it right now, and then we'll go from there. You saw how the other one ended up, so this will be the same thing, and then we could finally clean up under here a little bit and start it up. One other thing was, I don't know if I'm supposed to put another O2 sensor over here, because the shorty headers, the factory ones, they had it up there. So I mean, I don't think the O2 sensors matter. It might just push a little bit more gas. Once I get it tuned, the tuner should be able to fix all that. But here we are, man. I guess I didn't have to pay nobody to do it. I guess I could do it myself. All right, so I just got done with the second one, and I think I did much better. All I did was like go, stop, go, stop. Obviously some spots are terrible like that one, but I did like it's not that bad. I did like go, stop, go, stop. Like I didn't try to do one continuous weld, but it's still ass, but you know, nothing a little bit of grinding can't help. All right, so there's everything all bolted up. We just have to see how it sounds. All right, so let me give you guys a cold start real quick. Alright guys, as you saw, I'm not a welder. You guys saw those welds. They look pretty terrible, but like I said, we're just doing this on a budget. They do have some leaks, so I'm gonna have to take it back off and see if I could address those leaks that it has. So we'll probably do that on the next video. We'll see how far we get on the Ranger, and then thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.